A Short and Easy Method of Prayer by Madame Guyon.
Chapter 11. Conversion. Return to him you have so greatly revolted against, O Israelites. Isaiah 31:6. To be truly converted is totally to turn away from the creature and turn wholly to God. To attain this salvation, it is absolutely necessary that we should forsake sin and turn to righteousness. But this alone does not bring complete conversion. That consists in a total change of the whole person as he turns from his outer life to his inner life. As soon as the soul has turned to God, she finds a wonderful ability to continue steadfastly in her dedication to God. The longer that she follows God in this way, and the nearer she comes to him, the firmer disciple she becomes of God. The closer she draws to God, the further away she will find herself from depending on and needing her fellow human beings. She becomes so strongly rooted in God that it becomes second nature for her to be his constant follower. Now, we must not suppose that this is brought about through some special effort she makes, for, left to her, she is incapable of cooperating with God's grace. In the same way, she is unable by herself to withdraw from external objects and to turn inwards. It is by God's assistance that she forsakes everything else and continues steadfastly in her allegiance to God. God has an attractive goodness which draws the soul more and more powerfully to him the closer she comes to him. And as he attracts her, he purifies and refines her. It is like the sun causing a thick mist, which as the sun slowly ascends is cleared and purified. The mist, in fact, only contributes to the sun's rising by its passivity, but the soul cooperates with the attractions of her God by a free and affectionate communication. This kind of inward turning of the thoughts is both easy and effective. It advances the soul naturally and without constraints, because God himself is her center. Every center has a powerful ability to attract goodness. The purer and more exalted it is, the stronger and more irresistible are its attractions. But besides the potent magnetism of the center itself, there is in every creature a corresponding tendency to reunion with its own particular center, and this is vigorous and active in proportion to the spirituality and perfection of the subject. As soon as anything is turned towards its center, its own gravitation pulls it and speeds up its arrival there. This can only be held up by some invincible obstacle. A stone held in the hand is no sooner disengaged than by its own weight it falls to the earth as to its center. It is the same with water and fire, which when unobstructed incline and flow incessantly to their principle or center. Now when the soul, by her efforts to abandon outward objects and gather herself inwards, is brought into the influence of the central bias without any other pull, she falls gradually by the weight of divine love into her proper center. The more passive and tranquil she remains, and the freer she is from self-motion and self-exertion, the more rapidly she advances, because the energy of that central attractive virtue is unobstructed. So she has full freedom for action. All our care and attention should, therefore, be to acquire inward recollection. Now, we should not be discouraged by the pains and difficulties we encounter in this exercise. We shall soon be recompensed by our God in such abundant supplies of grace that we will be enabled to perform the exercise perfectly easily. But we must be faithful in meekly withdrawing our hearts from outward distractions and occupations and returning to our centre, with our affections full of tenderness and peace. When at any time the passions are turbulent, a gentle retreat inwards to a present God easily deadens and pacifies them. To contend with them in any other way only serves to irritate rather than appease them.